So here we are on the story info page for Hard Vacuum Lullaby. And what I want to do, we'll get in and explain a lot of this other stuff here, but for now, I want to go into the media editor and show you how to upload your own graphic files. Okay, so here are all of the media files that we use in Hard Vacuum Lullaby. This is your protagonist, Juke, and then you've got the other different characters here. And so what I can do is I can browse through this grid to see and then preview any information about the media on this preview pane. And knowing how to be able to manipulate these grids is kind of essential to knowing how to get around StoryStylus. So usually, pretty much for all the grids, you can select a single row of information and then get a more summarized view in a panel or several panels on the right. So this particular image shows the dimensions of it, the size, when it was added, and attribution text. We'll get to that sort of in a little bit. And then you can categorize all of your media to wherever you want to use it within the game. It's just a way to help you be organized so that you're not drawing from like a huge list. I mean, this is 52 graphic files. You can sort of media files. You can sort of see at the bottom here. But some of our games, we have hundreds of graphics that media files that have been uploaded. So looking at the different media types that you can upload, we can have PNGs, and then you can also have JPEGs. We don't support bitmaps or GIFs or GIFs, however you pronounce that. And for audio files, we support MP3s. That's primarily sort of what we use. There's a way you can sort of preview an audio file. And again, you can categorize the audio file to be a sound effect, music, or a voiceover. We'll show you more about that in a little bit. But, okay, so just one other thing you can sort of note about these grids is that you have the ability to sort stuff, which can be really useful if you want to see sort of where the biggest files are that you've used. That's helpful. If you want to see sort of where all the audio is, and if you want to sort it by when you added it in the system. The other thing to note up here is that this top bar is what's called a filter row. You can actually turn the filter on and off if you want, if you click on that funnel icon there. But it allows you to, so if I turn that on, you can see now that I filtered out all of the audio files in the game. And this is really useful for being able to go through stuff, like find data really fast as you're going through and entering stuff in. So if I know, I'm looking for that graphic of Juke, our protagonist, I can just type up Juke up here, and there she is. So if you have lots of data in StoryStylus, this is a great way to sort of manage it and maintain it and stuff like that. Again, I can sort of see which stuff has been used as music. Well, there you go. That's the overall sound for the game right there. 13 megs, which is a lot, but for music, that's actually pretty reasonable. So, okay, and the other thing I just want to draw your attention to is up on the top corner here, there's what's called a media guide. And this is really useful. You're going to see it again when we start to upload files, but if you want to get a sense of just, so what this is doing is it's triggering a PDF file that will, if you have Adobe installed, Adobe Reader, you can I'll bring this over here. This just shows you sort of what are the different ratio sizes that we use in our graphics. I'll just sort of zoom in here. I mean, you can read it yourself, but I just wanted to at least, you can sort of see there all the different types of graphics that we use in our system and what's a decent size. You don't need to get overwhelmed by that right now, but and then how you upload stuff, which is about what I'm about to talk you through. So, okay, so let me just close this down a little bit. One of the other things too, if you need more space on your grid, you can minimize the menu there, which is useful, a little shortcut. Okay, so let's say I want to upload a new background of Juke. I don't think she stands out, sort of, say, on that green background. So I'm going to show you over here. I have some tutorial files. And really, on the PC, it's just drag and drop. So I can just drag my file over here, and then we can start to upload the file to the StoryStylus server. Now, on the Mac, let me just go back for a second. On the Mac, the drag and drop doesn't work as well, but you can press this pretty much for any adding any files or data into the system. You just the green button here. Look for that green plus, and that's usually like add media, add location, and so on. I'm just going into my tutorials here, and there's the same file. So I can just press this and add in the file. So when you upload your files, you'll see that you've got the name of the file here. This is about 400K, which is a little large, but you'll get pretty decent detail on that. And it also gives you a ratio. The ratio is really important because when we're trying to show your media in any of the Story Worlds games, we're trying to best fit. We're trying to resize whatever you give us to an appropriate frame to display it. So, again, there's that media guide. If you click on that, that will pretty much walk you through like what the ratio of a postcard is about, 4/3 or 1.3. With what's your avatar, your player characters, you want that to be as square as possible. So something close to 1. So when you have a media file, you'll see that it's you have 3 choices that you can do to this media file. You can choose to accept it as it is, and you can see that it's now got a check mark next to it. You can ignore it. You might have a bunch of files that you've selected, and there might be some ones that you've already got, and you don't want to upload it. You can also choose to resize, and this is great because this will show you how you can resize down the dimensions of your file to something that works. Now, for now, I'm just going to accept this new background for Juke, and once you're ready, you can just go OK. And you'll see now that the new Juke graphic is being uploaded to the StoryStylus servers. So we'll take a second here. I'll probably put a cut in, and as Juke starts to go up. Remember, too, that you can also press cancel at any time to stop the upload and prevent that file from going up. So now, if I look around, there's Juke 4 up there. And there we go. So now we've got the new background. I'm going to do a filter just to sort of show the difference here. So now we've gone from a green background to a purpley background. So I'm going to maximize that. So one of the other things that you can do with special kinds of filters, I showed you the audio filter here. You can also do like a date added, like check to see sort of on filter on dates. And so you can see anything that you've uploaded today would obviously be Juke 4. You can see something, say, that you uploaded by different months or last week, or it's very helpful when you've got a lot of stuff and you want to see, group stuff in what did I upload yesterday and so on. And then once you're done, you can just click equals to bring it all back. So now I've got a new Juke within the system, and I want this to be used as a player character or an avatar. So then I can just check over here, the avatar box. You see the little yellow icon up there means that I've made a change to it. If I click on that, that automatically saves the data. If you change something, let's say I want to use this as a map or something like that, as soon as you select another row of data, it's automatically saved. So If you're ever concerned or worried that a change hasn't taken place, just click on the save up there. Okay, so let me upload another file here. But this time we're going to resize it. So actually I also want to show you this. If I try to upload this bitmap, you'll see that it doesn't work. It won't allow me to upload that. So that's just sort of as a good guide. And you'll see that I can't actually accept or ignore anything on this right now. So, okay, I'm going to cancel out of that. So here's a picture I took during Comic-Con last year, 2016. So I'm going to drag and put this over, and let's have a look at this. So let's say I want to use this as a location. This is the size you're going to get from any camera you might take a picture of. So it's about 3.4 megs, which is a lot of data. I mean, your cameras, your smartphones, and that gives you very good detail. So I could just accept it, but then if I were to use this within the game, that would be like really huge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this down to be used as a location, which will look like a postcard almost. So now it's gone from like 5,000 pixels to about 700. And so when I go OK, this new resized image is going to be uploaded rather than the huge 3 meg file. We still list it as 3 megs just so you know, but this is going to be the real ratio here. So I'm going to upload that and go OK. And it's going to think for a second here while it uploads. That's a lot of pixels to process. And there it goes. Oh, look, it's only 81K now, which is a lot more usable for an internet game. Okay, so if I have a look at this, there it is. And it's still pretty decent picture for the size. It's a little squished, but I can play around with that a little bit more and get that down to a decent ratio. So, all right, so that's pretty much uploading and managing the graphics of your game. One last thing I sort of just want to show you is that there's a button here that you can download all of your media into a zip file. If, say, you're working on a different computer and you want to, tweak some of the graphics and sort of re-upload them, you click on that and then you can save it to your computer and you can edit these as much as you like. So that gives you a pretty good overall view of uploading graphics. And one more thing here, you'll see that on some of the graphics here, you can do what's called attribution text and attribution URLs. Now, we'll get into that a little more in the next tutorial, but this just sort of shows where you can give credit to your artists, and you can even put a link to their source image to help your artist promote your work. So we're very much in belief that the artist should be paid or at least be recognized, and this is a great way to sort of highlight your collaborators who are working on your story games. Okay, that's it for uploading media and general know-how of the grids. We'll get on to actually creating a game here in the next tutorial.